Out front tonight, the breaking news, out of control. A major fire now rapidly tearing through Southern California again. A city already in crisis. Look at those images on your screen. Officials warning it could be about to go, quote, nuclear. These are live pictures of what is now being called the Hughes Fire. A new fire at this hour, now consuming a football-size area every 2 to 3 seconds. I remember the last time we told you numbers like that. We were standing on the ground in Los Angeles. More than 8,000 acres already gone up in flames with the Hughes Fire, towering clouds of smoke and ash over Los Angeles. Powerful wind gusts right now providing that fuel, pushing the flames closer to crowded neighborhoods. To give you a sense of how dangerous we understand this situation is right now, you see those flames. Look at that. Right over the highway. Now, those highways have been closed. These evacuation notices receiving fast and furious. But just look at that fire and that black smoke. Winds in Southern California are actually expected to get much worse as we go through tonight. According to the National Weather Service, hurricane-strength gusts are possible, which is why so far already 20,000 additional people now under mandatory evacuation orders as firefighters are desperately trying to curb those flames. You see those now painfully familiar red fire retardant lines on the hillside. Resources are extremely stretched tonight. It's now been almost a month of straight fires in California, still working to control those Eaton and Palisades fires, which started more than 2 weeks ago, have already burned thousands of acres. Veronica Miracle and Natasha Chen are both standing by. Let's start with you, Veronica, where you're standing. You can see that smoke behind you, that toxic air, the fire quickly endangering homes just where you're standing. So what exactly are you seeing?
Well, Aaron, when we arrived here a little over an hour ago, we were to the north of us, and the flames were just licking this hillside that was in the park, a park area, the Castaic Park, just next to the lake. And we have been following it and tracking it, and it's been moving quickly this way. We've had such a hard time keeping up with the flames just because the winds have been so strong. It's a little windy now, but the gusts have been very strong over the last hour or so. And the firefighters, they just descended here because there are so many still who have been, assisting with the Eaton fires and the Palisades fires. So there were so many that came through, and all of the flames, like you can see here, actually came up very close to this RV park. Firefighters came to these residential areas, and actually, if you want to turn, Mike, just up there, you can see the helicopters flying up above. So a lot of activity over here. The helicopters, we've seen the big air tankers, and then of course those firefighters making sure that residential areas like this RV park, as well as apartments that are just on the other side of us, are okay. We have seen hotspots come flaring up all over the hillside there, and including just right behind us. And firefighters are working very quickly because these winds are just so strong, and they have been kicking up some of the embers very quickly, pushing this fire very quickly, Aaron.
Veronica, some of these embers, when we hear about with the Palisades fires, as big as your palm, giant balls, firefighters talking about flying through the air. You're talking about winds now, just like as those fires were spreading so explosively. The images, Veronica, that you have, that we're looking at of those ridges, we see the smoke, but also when we look at the fire up and down the ridge, it looks like some sort of an inferno, like a volcano, honestly, in some of those images. This one that we're showing now. What are they telling you about the speed with which this fire is spreading?
Yeah, it's moving very quickly because of these winds. And an interesting point, actually, when we were coming in, Aaron, we weren't actually able to access and get close up to the flames at the initial start point because we were told by CHP officer that it was the source of an arson investigation. It was a crime scene. So that is still under investigation, but the flames have been moving very quickly, and we have been watching firefighters move very quickly all throughout this area, trying to make sure that it doesn't get to homes.